In our previous tutorial, we learned how to draft the pattern. So in this tutorial, we'll be learning how to put this pattern together to give us a beautiful blazer. So the materials we'll be using is the suit lining, a machine suit lining, and this material here that I use is a crepe material, the light one, not the too light one, the light one. So this is the material I used, and your machine thread, and yeah. So you should listen attentively. Let me explain to you guys how I cut this pattern, okay? Yeah. For this pattern, what I cut the lining, and I also cut the main bodice, okay? You know, in a suit you have the lining which will cover the seam line, and you also have the outer layer which is the one that you'll be seeing, okay? So what I have here is the lining, the one I cut with my suit lining, okay? So I cut 2 pieces of the lining, and for the center front I cut the main material for it, because you know in suit this place will be showing, okay? The lapel side will be showing, so I cut main material for it, and I have also ironed stay on it, okay? Then I also cut 2 pieces for the center back, the lining, you can see it, and for the side back I cut 2 pieces for the lining, okay? And for the reveal collar I cut this side on fold, okay? You can see this is how I placed it on my material. So here is on fold, and the seam allowance I fold it in because here has to be on fold. Then I placed it and I cut it on fold. So I cut out 2 pieces. So when you cut it on fold, when you open it, this is how it's going to be, okay? So I cut 2 pieces of it, and I've also placed an stay on it to make it firm, okay? So this is about the reveal collar. And for the main bodice, so what I explained now is the lining, okay? I cut 2 pieces each for the lining. So when I come to the center front, which has the lapel that will be showing outside, I cut the main material instead of the lining for it. And another thing you will note is that for the lining you are going to fold in 1/2 inch, okay? So the lining of a blazer is usually shorter by 1/2 inch, okay? So that you can use it to drag it up when sewing it. So I fold in 1/2 inch allowance, then I use it to cut my lining, okay? So I fold in 1/2 inch allowance on the pattern, then I use it to cut out this lining. Then for the main bodice, so I've shifted the lining so that I can explain the main bodice. The main bodice of this blazer, you are going to cut it to 2 pieces, and you are going to put an stay on each of them, which I have already did, okay? So I cut 2 pieces each for the main bodice of this blazer. I use the pattern I cut out to cut 2 pieces, 2 pieces for the side front, 2 pieces for the center front that has the lapel, 2 pieces for the side back, and 2 pieces for the center back. And I also cut the stay, and I've ironed the stay on it. I hope you understand. So you should go ahead and cut yours that way. So the next thing we are going to be doing now is to join them together. So I'm starting with the main bodice, okay? So this is the side front and this is the center front, okay? So you are going to open it up this way, okay? And you are going to, you see how I set it already, okay? So go ahead and set yours that way. So once you set it this way, you are going to pin it, okay? So you are going to pin the center front and the side front together like this, and you are going to pin this other side this way too, okay? I hope you are understanding what I'm doing. So this is for the main bodice of the front blazer, okay? So this is the back, this is the side back, and this is the center back of the main bodice of the blazer, okay? So I'm just going to open it up like this, okay? And I'm going to set it as well. So you can see how I set it. So once you set it this way, you are going to pin the center back together and you join it by that 1 inch we put for the zip allowance, even though it's not having zip, but you are going to join back that 1 inch seam allowance that you put. Okay, then after that you are going to pin this one also like this, and you are going to join it by 1/2 inch seam allowance, and you are also going to pin this way, and you are going to join it by 1/2 inch seam allowance. I hope you understand. So I'm going to do the same thing to the lining too. So this is the lining of the blazer. I'm going to remove this paper. So once you remove it, you are still going to open it up. Okay, this lining is what we are going to use to cover up the seam line of the blazer. You know, blazer is always closed everywhere, you can't see the seam line. Okay, so and I've explained to you the reason why I cut out the main material for this lining, because this place is going to show at the front. That's why I used a real material for it instead of lining, because you wouldn't want your lining to be showing in front of your blazer. Okay, so just set it this way. Okay, and you are going to pin the side front to the center front, and you are going to sew it by 1/2 inch round. Okay, and you are going to do the same thing for this. You are going to pin it very carefully like so, and you are going to go to your sewing machine and join it by 1/2 inch. I hope you understand. So this is the lining of the center back and the side back. Okay, so you are still going to do the same thing. You are going to remove your pattern paper. Okay, and you are going to open it up. So once you set it this way, this this 1 inch that you added at the center back, you are going to take it back. Okay, you are going to join the center back by the 1 inch you added. So once you join it, you are going to join the side back. Okay, you are going to pin this and join it, and you pin the other side and you also join it. So I'll go and do all that, and I'll be back to show you guys what next. Okay, then for the reveal collar, what I'm going to do, you see this upper side, I'm just going to go to my sewing machine and I will pin it right side facing each other. Okay, this is the reveal collar, and we are sewing the upper side. We are going to turn this upper side. Okay, so once you place the right side facing each other like so, you are going to go and join by 1/2 inch. Then you are also going to sew, but you are going to stop this place that you notched, that place that the reveal collar is stopping at the neckline. You can see I notched mine. If you remember on the drafting process, I told you guys to notch this place, so it's very much important. It will help in sewing. Okay, these are some of the techniques that helps you to sew easily. Okay, you can see I've already notched this on my pattern, so you are going to go and join it from that point that I notched all the way here, and you are stopping at that point. So once you join it, you are going to turn it and give it a good press. So this is all about the collar. I'll go and do all this and I'll be back to show you guys what next. So guys, I have pinned this just like I showed you guys. This is the lining, so this is the center front, okay, for the lining, and this is the back for the lining. So just like I told you guys, I have pinned it. So I'll go to my sewing machine, I will sew it, then I will press open the seam line when I sew it. Okay, So, and this is also the back. This is also the back part, okay, of the main bodice. So this is the main bodice, and you can see how I pin it down. So I will pin it down, I will go and sew it just like I told you guys, and I will press open the seam line, okay, when I sew it. And this is the front part. I've also pinned it down, center front to side front, center front to side front. So I will also go and sew it, then I will press open the seam line. Then I'll be back to show you guys what next. And this is also the collar. I've also pinned it down just like I told you. I'll go and sew it and turn it, and I will also give it a good press. Then I'll be back to show you guys what next. So guys, you can see that I have gone ahead to join this just like I told you guys. I've joined the lining and I've also pressed it open. Okay, you can see how I pressed it open with my seam iron. Okay, so I've joined it. You can see the center front. You can see that I've joined it. So you can also see the main bodice. I've also joined it. You can see how I pressed the seam line open. Okay, so this is the side front. You can see how I pressed it very neatly. So this is the back part. I've also joined it. Can you see how beautiful the seam line is looking? And you see how I pressed it open? So you should go ahead and do that to your own too. Can you see the reveal collar? I've also turned it the way I showed you guys, and I've given it a good press. Okay, so that is it. What I'm going to do is to join it side by side. Okay, so I'm going to get the side front and I will join it to the center back like this. Okay, I will do the same thing to the lining, but before I join this side by side, I'll go ahead and place my welt pocket and flap. Okay, so I've made a separate tutorial on how to do that, so you should go and wash it out. Okay, and after washing it, you place your own so that you can come and join us in the making of this. Okay, so I'll go ahead and place my welt pocket with flap, and I will be back to show you guys what next. Okay, so guys, you can see that I have placed my welt pocket at both sides of the front. Okay, so what I'm going to do is to join it side by side. Okay, so I'm going to pin it at the side. I will pin it at the shoulder too. Okay, so I'll pin it at the side. I will also pin it at the shoulder. I will join it by ½ inch at the shoulder, then I will join it by 1 inch at the side. I will do the same thing for the lining too. So this is the lining. I will also pin it. Okay, I will pin it down at the side, at the shoulder too. I will also pin this at the side. I will pin it at the shoulder too. I will join it by ½ inch at the side and 1 inch by ½ inch on the shoulder and 1 inch at the side. So I'll do all that and I'll be back to show you guys what next. So guys, you can see that. I've joined it just like I showed you. I've joined the center front to the back. Okay, can you see how I pressed it? The inseams, I pressed them open. Okay, so you should go ahead and do yours like this, like that. Okay, so this is also the lining. I've joined it just like I told you guys, and can you see how I pressed open the seam lines? Okay, yeah. So the next thing we are going to do is to get the collar. So this is the collar. I've sewn in and I've pressed it just like I showed you guys. I'm going to fix in the collar. Okay, so what you have to do is to get the center of your collar, notch it, and you see this center back. Okay, you are going to place the notch on the center back. Okay, can you see the center line at the back? So you are going to place the center line of this collar, right side facing each other. So you are going to pin it down. Okay, so you are going to gently pin it down, and you are going to stop all the way to this place that you notched. Okay, can you see the essence of notching that place? Our reveal collar stopped on our pattern. So if you can remember, while we are tracing this out, I told you guys to notch here where the reveal collar stopped. Okay, and see the collar, I also notched it. Okay, So that is actually what I'm going to. So this place that this reveal collar stop, this place that I notched on my pattern, this is it, okay? And this place on the this place that I notched on my reveal collar, this is it, okay? This is where I stop. So I'm just going to make sure that those points match, just like what we are seeing here, okay? So these are some of the techniques that will aid you in sewing perfectly. So I'm just going to pin it down like this, okay? And I will adjust the rest and pin it down, okay? Can you see it match very well? I'm going to do the same thing at the side, the other side. I'm just going to pin it down. So the reveal collar is stopping at that notch, okay? Just like I explained to you guys. Then you are going to adjust the rest. So I'm going to adjust the rest, pin it down, and then I'm going to go and sew it down. Then I'll be back to show you guys what next. So guys, I have joined the reveal collar just like I showed you guys. Can you see it? Okay, so I've joined it. So the next thing I'm going to do is to get the lining. So this is the lining, okay? So I'm going to place it the right side of the lining, facing the right side of the main bodice. So I'm just going to grab the center back of the lining, okay? The center line. I will mash it, okay? Can you see I'm mashing it on top of the reveal collar I sewed on the right side of my bodice, okay? So I'll mash it up this way. Then I'm going to grab the shoulder seam. I will also mash it up right side facing each other on the shoulder seam of the main material, okay? So I'm just going to grab this and I will mash it up, okay? Can you see how I'm pinning it diligently? Okay, so I'm just going to do the same thing this way. I'm going to grab the shoulder seam and mash it up, okay, on the shoulder seam of this. So all mashing is on top of this reveal collar because we've sewn the reveal collar already on top of the main body. So just take your time, mash it up very well, okay? So I'm going to also mash it up and adjust the rest, okay? So I'm going to also pin it up, okay? Can you see it? So I'm also going to pin this, okay? You see the way I'm pinning it, that's the way I'm going to sew it round, okay? I'm also going to pin the other side, okay, like so. I'm going to pin it. Then also the hem, you see these seam lines, I'm going to mash it up, okay, and pin it down. Okay, so make sure you mash each seam line and you pin it down, okay? So I will go and sew it round by 1/2 inch, okay? I will sew it the two sides. I will also sew the neckline, okay? I'm basically sewing it round by 1/2 inch. So once I sew it round, I'm going to pull everything out from the armhole. So when I pull everything out from the armhole, I'm going to give it a good press. Then I'll be back to show you guys what next. So guys, I've sewn this round by 1/2 inch. I'm turning it out from the armhole. I'm going to adjust it properly. Then after adjusting it properly, I'm going to go and give it a good press, okay? So after ironing it, this is how beautiful it looks, okay? So this is how it is before. After ironing it, just fold the lapel, just fold it like this and you press it so that it can relax. That is how I was able to achieve this. So the next is to fix sleeve, and you are going to check the next tutorial for the sleeve fixing, okay? So this tutorial is already long. You guys don't like long tutorial. So check the next tutorial for the proper fixing of this sleeve.